everybody, welcome to Fiber Fun with Olivia. My name is Olivia. I am a knitter, I am a crocheter. I like to geek out and nerd out on anything fiber related. I hope you do too. If you are new here, welcome to the Fiber Fun Familia. I hope you have a little bit of fun with us. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. We like to, be a little bit silly and just enjoy life around here, right? Life is too short not to be silly and take ourselves too seriously. So let's have some fun. Okay, I know I'm a little bit extra sometimes. I love fiber. It really energizes me, you guys. It energizes me. I'm excited to share anything fiber related with you guys. Anyway, today we're here to talk about the sweater collaboration. Did you see our first video? If not, the playlist link will be down in the description box. Today is video number 2. I am doing this in collaboration with some other YouTube ladies. Please go visit them. The link for the playlist will be listed down below in the description box in no particular order. The ladies that are joining me in this sweater collaboration are Connie from Connie's Crafty Corner, Shannon from Shannon Talks Yarn, Ella from No Catchy Name, and Carrie Penny from, oh my gosh, I always want to mess up your channel name, Carrie Penny. Happy Crafty Homemaker. Please go visit all of these ladies. They are also making a sweater and participating in this collaboration. This is our number 2 video. In our first video, if you did miss it, please go check it out. It's also listed in the playlist. It is where we shared with you what sweater we were making and what yarn we were making. And then every monthly video from here moving forward is going to be an update on where we are. For me, this is my first sweater, so I'm really excited about it. I was a little bit scared, I'm not going to lie, but I'm allergic to gauge, you guys. I'm allergic to gauge. And for those of you that might not know what gauge is, I didn't know what gauge was at a certain point in time. It's where you have to do a few swatches with the needle and the yarn that you're going to be using, and the pattern always gives you a measurement of what that should measure, and if it comes out too big, then you switch up the needles. If it comes out too small, again you switch them up. And so you're making multiple gauges in some cases to try to match that measurement, because that'll ensure that your garment will fit correctly on you. So I've always been allergic to gauge. That is no surprise, because I've mentioned it here on my channel multiple times, which is why I love making things that don't need gauge necessarily. So scarves, shawls, anything that doesn't need blankets. I love making blankets. I love making blankets. So, but I've been seeing so many people making their beautiful sweaters, and I wanted to do it. So we're doing it. We're doing it, you guys. So this is our journey. We all have a different journey, a different pattern, different yarn, and we're all going to share with you. So please go visit my lovely friends who are also participating. Now, let's jump into my sweater. I chose to make a sweater from this book. It's called Ready, Set, Raglan, Pullover Patterns for Every Knitter, and it's by Pom Pom. And basically, this book it starts off with a really simple, basic sweater. So it'll share that pattern with you, and it gives you a lot of information. And it's really good for beginners. And the way I learned about this was through Grocery Girls Knits. You guys know I'm obsessed with them. And they mentioned that this was, I think it was them who mentioned, yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, you know what it was? They mentioned that for your first sweater, they recommended making a raglan, which is a top-down pattern. If it's your first time, right? And so I went on the search for raglan patterns, and I found this book, and I decided to purchase it because, like I was mentioning earlier, it starts off with a basic raglan, and then it has more patterns, and each pattern adds a little bit more. Like, it'll change the increases, and it'll have cables, or it'll give you options to adjust your collar, the sleeves, the stitch pattern that is being used on the sweater. Anyway, I didn't start with the first one. I decided that I wanted to make the one that's called Grain. And this is it right here. And it's in garter stitch, and I thought, ooh, I'm gonna make this one. Why? Because I just wanted to knit garter stitch the whole way. Little did I know that this is in the round, so that means I have to purl every other round. So I was a little bit surprised, but that's okay. That's okay, we're making it work. And the other reason is because I am a plus size lady. I'm busty, I'm curvy, like, yeah, so I thought, you know what, a squishier, thicker fabric might drape a little bit better on me. I don't know. It might not. It might be worse for me. It might be that I was right. I don't know. We're gonna find out. So anyway, that's the sweater that I chose to make. And then the yarn that I chose to use is, well, I started off with different skeins from my stash. It was my intention to stash bust. And I say it was because I'll explain. So let me put what I have here so I could share with you in a moment. But this is the yarn that I put to the side. I have it here in a plastic container. And I thought, you know what, I haven't used these skeins. Let me use this, because I was looking up sweaters and I really liked the ones that had multiple colors. I'm extra, like I said earlier. I like color, I like stripes, I like, yeah, I mean, you know, anyway. So I put these together because I had purchased these skeins of yarn from Lion Brand, 2 of Joanns Color Theory. Here's an example of one of them. And I had never used them before. I ordered them maybe last year. I ordered these 4. These 4 are the same. And then I had these other 2 skein tones that I thought, you know what, I'll throw some browns in there. Well, after starting the pattern, I decided I'm not going to use these because I started to realize, and I'll show you right now what I have. Let me show you. I'm so proud of myself, you guys. This is what I have. Let me put it close to the camera. So as I started to use the Color Theory yarns, I realized that it's a very squishy, airy yarn. It feels, God, I'm so bad at describing, but this one feels like a dense yarn. And they're both weight number 4, worsted weight. That's what the pattern calls for. But I didn't want to have a different feel going from this one to this one. Even though the colors look really nice together, I wanted to have the same feel consistently throughout my sweater. So I have used 3 of these colors. Yes, 3 of these. I haven't used the blue, so I haven't gotten to that point, but I have used these 3. And let me show you what the colors are. By the way, this is 100%, oh wait, no, actually, no, it's not. Let me see. This Color Theory yarn is, oh no, it is 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable, 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, and you get 246 yards. So yeah, this is Color Theory. And this one is in the color Peacock. It's like this jewel toned, deep green. This one is in the color, and this is my favorite. This is Dijon, like Dijon mustard. And this one is tourmaline. I really like this one too. So these are the 3 that I've used so far. And let me show you what I have again. Oh, and I forgot to share with you. Okay, let me try to do this in order. So I mentioned I'm allergic to gauge. The pattern does call, and I wrote some notes here. The pattern calls for US 6 needles and US 7, which is 4 millimeters and 4.5 millimeters. I decided to do some gauge swatches. I am the most impatient person in the whole wide world, and I wasn't going to do gauge swatch. And we kind of chatted about it. We have a string on Instagram where the ladies and I were like, are you going to gauge swatch? Are you? Some of us were, some of us weren't, some of us weren't sure. In the end, I decided, you know what? Let me gauge swatch. I've never made a sweater before. The last thing I want is to have a sweater that I'm so excited about and then it's not going to fit. At least gauge swatch a couple just to get it closer, right? Well, I'm really glad I did, because the gauge swatch ended up way bigger than it should have been. So I went down some needle sizes. I ended up going down 2. So I did 2 gauge swatches after. So I ended up with US 4 and US 5, which are the 3.5 millimeter and the 3.75 millimeter. Now, it didn't make exact gauge, but it was as close as I was comfortable. Okay, we can go with these. And going down 2 needle sizes, oh my God, my sweater would have been so big had I not gauge swatched. So I really am kind of glad that I did. You know, I felt like I was wasting time, and I'm like, I just want to start on the sweater. But I really, in retrospect, now feel like, you know what, it was time well spent, because I got to see that I really needed to go down to needle sizes. So this is using US 4. And so I started off on US 4, which is the 3.5 millimeter, in a 16 inch, because you start off top down. So this is supposed to be this part right here. This doesn't have the collar. You come back and you put it on. So it starts off there in the round, and so it calls for the 16 inch, the 16 inch, oh my God, I'm forgetting my language, you guys. This the smaller one. So the same needle size, but it was smaller because it's in the round. But then when that starts filling up, it says in the pattern to move over to your bigger, your lengthier needles. And so now I have a 40 inch here. Same size, US 4, 3.5 millimeter. So things that I'm learning as I go, because I've never made a sweater, is that these are increases. So you start off, oh, here, let me see. So it's gonna be like this, right? And then a raglan is well known because you're doing the increases here. So it's growing like that, right? It's gonna grow to the point where this is where you're gonna put your sleeve. And I mentioned that, I mean, it's probably common sense to a lot of people, but it wasn't to me. I'm like, how is this gonna work? Because it's my first sweater. And so another thing is that this pattern has something called German short rows, where you end up making this part a little bit bigger and this one a little bit smaller, because it's going to be in the front. And it gives you the choice to do that or to not do that and keep them equal. I went for it because I recently learned how to do German short rows in my Narrows cowl. And so because of that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. Because, yeah, I would like something a little bit thicker back here, and that goes down a little bit here. So anyway, I keep on saying, so anyway, because I'm jumping all over the place, because this is all so new to me, you guys. So if I sound crazy, sorry about that. But yeah, this is new to me, and I'm excited. And so I'm like, oh yeah, this and this, and I'm trying to share everything, because some of you might be like me, where, oh, I've never knit a sweater, so how is that done? So this is my process. This is where I am. I did start off with this Dijon color, and then I decided to continue with, what was this called again? Peacock, and then the tourmaline. I really like how they look. I've actually tried this on because I'm so excited. I want to see how it looks. And I hope it's not too big, but I do know that I'm going to have to go back and put the color here. So I kind of feel like it might be a little bit big, but if it is too big, then I will, you know, try to make this a little bit smaller. But yeah, this is my neck, and because it's on this. I can't stretch it out too much, but you get the idea. This is how it's gonna work. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think that these increases look really pretty. Look at that. I am so proud of that. And because it is garter stitch, like one round is knit stitch and the other round is purl. One round is knit stitch, one round is purl, and I'm totally okay with that. So far, it's been so easy. Like I said, I was really scared, but it's been really easy. I'm a little bit scared now to get to the sleeves, but I am getting close to that, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited. If my sweater ends up coming out too big, because I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's acrylic, so I don't think you block it. But I don't know. Maybe after you wash it, it gets bigger. Maybe it gets small. I don't know. All of this is new to me, you guys. But what I'm trying to say is if it comes out a little bit too big, that's okay, because I like oversized clothing anyway, and I could just put a tank top underneath, or, you know, or just wear it like that. So we'll see. I'm really excited about the colors. Speaking of the colors, I forgot to mention to you, so because I decided not to use these, then I was like, okay, this is not going to be enough. So I did end up going to Joanns. I hadn't been to Joanns in a long time. Like 10 years, you guys. I used to live in Florida, and that Joanns was amazing. Amazing! I lived in the Tampa Bay area, and when we moved back to California, the Joanns that is here close to me is really bad. I mean, it is just well, it was, I should say, when I first moved back 10 years ago. And the customer service was bad. There was hardly anything in the store. I mean, when I would ask, do you guys have this? Or, you know, when are you going to get? Oh my God, it was just not a good experience. I went there again a few months later to see if it had changed, and it hadn't. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming back. So I've been going to Michael's or LYS's. And 10 years later, I said, you know what? I'm going to go try that Joann's. Completely different story. I am happy to report, because now I could go to Joann's too. And I have never tried the Joann's lines. What's it called? Stitch? I forget. But anyways, you guys probably know which one it is. But anyway, I ended up buying some yarn there to add to my sweater, because I didn't realize they carried it. When I bought the other ones, let me take them out. When I bought these, they weren't at Michael's, and so I ordered them online from the Lion brand website. But when I saw these at Joann's, I was like, oh, I was like that little emoji, ah! So I got some. So let me show you what I got. And because I didn't have these with me, and I couldn't remember which ones exactly they were, I just kind of winged it, and I'm really hoping that it goes with the sweater with these. This is in the color Bone. I think this, oh, here. So I think this will go really nicely with that. Let me put it over here. That's Bone. I also picked up one in the color Thunder, which is a gray. I actually picked up a Stonewash one, and I already had one of these. So, I mean, I just didn't remember. So I'm going to put that one over there because I already have one of those. And this is in the color Moonbeam. I love this color. Love, love, love. This is how it compares to Bone, in case you're curious. I love this one because it's not white. It's like an off-white, but it's like a cool off-white. And then I also picked up Nutmeg. Nutmeg. And here, let me put these three together so you can kind of see. This is Nutmeg, Bone, and Moonbeam. There was another one that was called Raisin, and I thought because it was really similar to this, I was going to get it. But then I thought, first of all, I have enough. And second of all, the Raisin, even though it was lovely, it was a little bit warmer. And so I chose not to. So here is all of them together. And I'm excited to see how... I don't know if I'm going to keep the blue in there. Yeah, I probably am, because I did put this tourmaline in there. see. Let me move my mic so I can show you better. Here we go. So the ones I already have in here are this one, and this one, right? And I like how they look together. So now I have these other ones to plug in. And I didn't like take notes or have a plan ahead of time. I'm kind of doing what I do with my stash busting blankets. I'm deciding as I go. So yeah, when I started with my favorite color. And then after that, I kind of put, you know, the other yarns next to it. Which one will go good? And I decided to use this one. And from there, I put them all next to it and I decided this one. So after I finish these rows, then I'm going to decide which one's going to go next. And I'm just going to keep winging it. It's a stash busting sweater, although some of this was not already in my stash. But it was kind of really important to me to keep it the same texture and the same airiness instead of, I was afraid that if I, you know, had this texture and then switched it over to that denser texture with the skein tones, it was gonna look different. It wouldn't be like nice and even. So yeah, I bought a few more skeins, but that's okay. I do like this. And if I have any left over, I can maybe make, a garter stitch scarf or a stash busting scarf. And for a scarf, I don't really care if, you know, the texture changes a little bit. So I'm okay with having a little bit left over. And I don't even know if I'll have leftover. We'll see. I forgot to mention what size I chose to make. The pattern has sizes, and the sizes are not like, you know, when you go buy clothing, it doesn't match up like that. And this must be pretty common. I just didn't know. It has sizes 1 through 10, and I am based on the measurements, because they tell you size 1 would be this, size 2 would be this, like, and it's like a bust measurements and stuff like that. And so based on the measurements they had, I measured myself and I decided to make the size 5 because I am a plus size lady. I usually use size 1X or 2X for my tops. Like I said, I'm curvy, I'm busty, and I like space. I don't like to be like, this is as close as I can wear a t-shirt, but like it has to be like loose fitting and not, you know. So anyway, I am making size 5 in that pattern, and I'm crossing my fingers that it'll work out and that it'll come out. So yeah, so this is my sweater update, you guys. I'm gonna keep going. I am like doing a bunch of other things as well. My goal is to finish this sweater before the holidays because I like to make stuff for the holidays. So maybe by September, but we'll see. We'll see. We're not pressuring each other. We were chatting, and I mentioned to the other ladies, we're all going to have our own pace. We're all going to have our own journey, and we're all sharing it. So I hope you guys enjoy as we're sharing this journey with us. Please put down in the comments if you have any questions for me about my experience making my first knit sweater. If any questions come to mind, if you're considering making a sweater, let me know. Please put it in the comments below because I'm happy to share. Maybe I'm not thinking of something to share. I tried to share as much as I could think of based on what I may have wanted to know, because I'm learning as I go. And yeah, let me give you one last show of that little increase. I just love it so much. I think it looks so pretty. I know it's something so silly, but I really like it. I really like how it looks, and I can't wait to put this on. I'm excited. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to go visit my friends. The playlist is listed down below. You can also look up the hashtag on Instagram if you follow us there. Here is the hashtag. Again, thank you for being here, and I will talk to you later. Bye.